Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today let's talk about creators on YouTube who used to make content in the luxury space and would have been classified as luxury YouTubers who have decided to leave the luxury space, take their channel in different directions and make videos on different things. They could be talking about minimalism. They could be talking about how to stop shopping. They could be talking about different things altogether. But there are a few of them who I used to watch and used to make videos like I do on spending ridiculous amounts of money on silly handbags, because let's be honest, these are bags and they carry things and they cost huge amounts of money. And there are people who used to talk about that and who used to enjoy doing that who have now decided that they're kind of moving past it and have taken their channels in different directions, and that is entirely their prerogative. That is entirely their choice. Up to them what they put out on their channel, what they're currently interested in. We change, we evolve, we change as people, and some of the things that we used to be interested in, we used to enjoy, we used to want or spend our money on, we want to put our time into, leave us and change, and we grow past them and we get interested in different things. But the reason this topic has came to my mind is entirely inspired by my friend here on YouTube, Jessie, from Jessie's Style. Jessie put out a video on this topic recently and I will link Jessie's channel down below in the description box. I found her video really interesting. I found it really enjoyable and I read the comments on her video and it sparked a real debate. There were so many opinions in the comment box, so many discussions going on that it dragged me into the topic a little bit, and I thought it was really intriguing and it made me think about it a little bit more. In Jessie's video, she features a number of creators who have decided to leave luxury YouTube and move on to other things. Now, there was one of those creators that I haven't actually heard about. There was another that I heard about because they did one video about designer bags being over, but it's a channel that I've never actually watched, so I can't really comment on that. And then she talked about Caitlin Pawlowski and Colourful Noir, who were two creators that I did used to watch. Caitlin's videos I probably would have watched more than Colourful Noir. I used to very much enjoy Caitlin's videos. I found them fun, they were quite snappy, and I enjoyed her content. She has moved quite significantly away from buying luxury. She did put out a video about leaving the luxury community and how these are no longer going to be the videos that she's going to make. I haven't really watched her content since. If I'm honest, I find some of the new content to be a little bit judgmental or preachy almost to people who do still enjoy buying luxury, and I find some of the videos a little bit difficult to watch given how Caitlin used to purchase and how she used to make content. Now, I am not saying that it is hypocritical of her to now move on from luxury and no longer be interested in luxury. That's entirely her prerogative. But just like it is the choice of every creator to decide what type of content they make and put out on the internet, it is the choice of us as consumers or viewers to decide the content that we want to watch. And there are some of her videos that I have come across in the post-luxury buying phase that I've started to watch and I have clicked out of, and I just haven't really enjoyed because I have felt that it was a little bit judgmental, and that's just my opinion and just my choice. I have, however, watched Caitlin in the past and thought that she did seem to be quite sad. And I know she's talked about how she purchased a lot because she had low self-esteem. And if she has now got past that, I think that is fabulous and that's something to be celebrated. If she is now in a much happier place in her life, if she is much more settled and no longer feels the need to shop and no longer feels the need to fill the void with shopping and fill the emptiness with buying things where the hit lasts for a few moments and then you move past it and you're looking for the next hit. If she has been able to properly address that and move on, I think that is fabulous, and I'm very happy for her if that's the case. And I do think that that is what has triggered the change in her content, that her mindset has changed and where she's at in her life has changed. Not that I know her personally, this is just what I have picked up from the videos that I have watched. So I do think that's fabulous, but I do choose not to watch a lot of the content because I feel that because her previous shopping maybe didn't come from the happiest of places and maybe didn't come from her being settled and content in her life, that she has some negative connotations whenever she thinks about that period of time in her life, and she associates them now with the luxury shopping. And sometimes I think that can come across as almost projecting onto other people who are purchasing luxury as if it's got a negative connotation to it. And I think that's coming from where she was at that point, and that's why a lot of her videos I choose not to consume at this time. But I do think that she's moved on because she does seem to be in a happier place in her life, and I think that's great. And I don't think for creators to choose to change their niche or to move away from luxury is hypocritical, because we all do change and we all go through these phases. I have phases where I will shop quite a lot, and then I have phases where I will be quieter and I won't be as interested in luxury for a while, and other things in my life will take over. But then, as sure as day turns to night, that phase will come back around and I will get back interested in shopping. So I have never got to the point where I have thought, I'm no longer interested in luxury, I'm going to change my channel, I'm moving away from that, that's no longer my thing. I have never fallen out of love with it that much. I've had quieter periods, but never a time where I've thought, I'm done with that. So that's not where you're going to find me on this channel in this space, certainly in the foreseeable future. But I do appreciate that content creators change and their lives move on and they evolve, and maybe different things happen in their lives. They maybe have children, they maybe enter relationships, they maybe go through something that's very traumatic, they maybe find something else that takes up so much of their time, and they find, for some of them, that luxury is no longer something that they're interested in, or they have space in their life to give to, or that they no longer want to spend the amount of money that these things cost on these material items because there's other things they want to do in their life. And I think there's a lot of content creators that will move past luxury because luxury loving and luxury buying was a phase and a stage in their life, and they move on and they grow and they evolve and they change what they're interested in. And I think there can be some very genuine reasons why people move past this type of content because this is what they're interested in right now, to where they are in a year's time or 6 months' time because they've evolved and they've grown. And I don't think that's a bad thing. As I said, it's up to us to choose what we want to consume. So I don't think it's a bad thing for people to move past it. I would love sometimes to be on a longer period of being slightly less interested in this, because I would have a lot more money in my bank. And I'm not saying that I'm hard done by, please, I'm not. But if we were to suddenly not be interested in this at all, there would be a certain amount of financial gain. And sometimes I think that might not be a bad thing. There was, however, also comment in the commentary box on Jessie's video about how some of you believed that firstly, it was a front for YouTube. Some of you believed that the creators, and I'm not specifically talking about anybody in particular or the creators that I have mentioned or that Jessie mentioned, but that creators that move past luxury do it because they have their eye on the prize almost. There was commentary on Jessie's video about how people believe that these creators have realised that luxury has had its moment. It had a bubble during the lockdown periods. It was very heightened. People got caught up in it, myself included, bought an awful lot more than what we normally would. We weren't travelling. There was money to spend on this type of thing. Luxury YouTube took off. For me anyway, that's when I started watching it. And I think there was a bubble when luxury YouTube was kind of at its height. And some of you were saying in the comment box that that bubble has burst. The world is in a very, very different place. Yes, the world was in a lockdown. Not a great place to be with what was going on and people's health and what was happening to people's loved ones and families. But sure, as that happened, this is happening. The world has not come out of that and entered a period of peace and calm and prosperity. We are back to looking at war. We are looking at extreme poverty. We are looking at jobs going. We are looking at a very uncertain economic picture for a lot of people in the world. And there's a lot of people, therefore, that have naturally drawn away from spending their money or their time consuming luxury content because of what else is going on. And that may be impacting them personally, it might be impacting family, financially, or it may be that they're watching what's going on and they no longer find the escape in this that they used to. For me, this is still an escape from everyday life. It's a happy place. But for a lot of people, it's no longer fulfilling that need because what else is going on is taking over too much, and that this can't give them that buzz anymore, so they're no longer interested in watching it. And I totally get that with where we are at in life at the moment. And some of the commentary on Jessie's video was saying these YouTubers who have moved on are following the trend of views and may still actually be buying as much as they were ever buying. They're just not showing it on the internet anymore. Because I could be buying 25 more bags that are underneath and outside of this camera view, and you wouldn't know if I don't choose to show them on my channel or on my Instagram. And some of you were saying in the comment box that you believe that a lot of the people that have moved past luxury are actually still buying luxury, still buying as much as they did, or still buying certainly a significant amount and just not sharing it to present to the YouTube world that they are now over that and taking this swerve in their life. And some of you were commenting that you believe that so as they can follow the videos that have higher views. They can follow where the trend is going. Luxury YouTube is no longer where it's at, really, if you want a highly viewed channel. Although I do believe that luxury YouTube was always a niche. It was always a very small and very limited niche, because there's not going to be as many people in the world interested in luxury fashion as there are interested in health or high street fashion or some of the other topics, minimalism, that people have moved on to. So there's always going to be bigger views if that's what you're in it for, if you follow some of those other topics. And some of you were saying that that's why you believe people have moved from this to that, to follow the views and to follow where the trend's at, and that you believe they're still actually buying what they used to buy and just not showing it. Colourful Noir is another channel that Jessie touched on, and I have watched a few videos from that channel, never as many as I used to watch on some of the other channels, but I do know that Eileen, who is the creator behind that content, was a luxury purchaser. She used to buy a lot more and she has downsized quite a lot. She now practices minimalism, and I think she took a career break. She did say she was retiring early, but I think she's maybe going back to work part-time, and hers seems to have been a journey, a natural journey, where she has just fallen out of love with buying luxury, and she has curated a smaller capsule luxury wardrobe that works for her, and she has other interests that she has started to pursue, and that has kind of filled that void. Now, I don't watch as many of Eileen's videos simply because it's not the content that I am drawn to, but I think if you just naturally move past this and you then have other interests, and if you find joy in minimalism and you find joy in talking about minimalism, I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't see why that's not something that you should pursue. You should always pursue what you want to pursue. You should make content on what you want to make. You should watch what you want to watch. And I think that it's fabulous if she's been able to early retire or now go back part-time, because it gives her so much more time in her life, and that's a dream for a lot of people, and I think achieving that is pretty great. What do you think on this topic? Do you think that some of these creators have just maybe reached purse piece? They have all of the bags that they want and they don't need to shop anymore, and they're happy where they're at and their life naturally moves on? Do you think it's a little bit more calculated than that? Do you think people move on to areas with bigger audiences where they can do bigger sponsorships? I did see that in the comment box in Jessie's video, that you can do more Amazon products, that you can do more of the things that are going to attract a wider audience, more views on your videos, that you start talking about lesser brands or less expensive items, because it's then linked in your description box with affiliate links. I did see one commenter say that they thought that the transition was so as you could, one, get more views, but also get more affiliate income from people buying the Amazon products, for example, or the high street type products, because they're going to attract a wider audience. Do you think that's what it is? Or do you think that it's people who just have phases in their life and luxury no longer is where they're at and it's no longer giving them their joy and they're moving on to other things. What do you think about this topic? I think whatever your view is, it's really, really interesting. Whatever you think of these content creators, and I mean no disrespect to anybody in this video, I am simply giving you my opinion and also a rundown on what Jessie had said and what was in Jessie's comment box, because I think this is such an interesting discussion. What do you think? And if you are going to come into the comment box and talk about anybody's video, please keep it respectful, because there's no need to go low. There's no need to talk about anybody's choices in a way that could be hurtful to them. We can all have our opinions, but we can keep them in a way that's not going to offend or be offensive and cause hurt, because there's enough of that in the world without us adding it into a comment box on a silly YouTube video about handbags. So please just bear that in mind. If you are going to give your opinion, please be respectful. Thank you so much for watching this. I think it's a really, really interesting topic. I'm going to leave Jessie's channel down below in the description box. She sparked this conversation, so make sure you go and check her out. She has great, great content. If you've enjoyed this in any way, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.